Welcome everybody to our regular council meeting, November 2nd. The time is 7:01 p.m. Bienvenidos a todos a nuestra junta del concilio de la ciudad de Livingston. El tiempo es 7:01. Could everybody stand for Pledge of Allegiance? Ready, begin. Could we please remain standing for a moment of silence for our first responders and military members? Thank you. Monica, could we get roll call, please?
Roll call. Councilmember Soto?
Present.
Councilmember Moran?
Present.
Councilmember King?
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Garcia?
Present.
Mayor Aguilar?
Present.
For the record, council members, Mayor Pro Tem and Mayor are in attendance.
Closed session announcements. We will be going back into closed session after our regular council meeting. Nothing to report at this time. Council, any changes to the agenda?
Is that just to the consent agenda or?
We will be able to visit the consent calendar once we get there.
All right, thank you.
So I see no changes. At this moment, we'll go into citizen comments. Section of the agenda allows members of the public to address the city council on any item not otherwise on the agenda. Members of the public, when recognized by myself, should come forward and identify themselves. Comments are normally limited to 3 minutes. In accordance with state open meeting laws, no action will be taken by the council. For items which are on the agenda this evening, members of the public will provide them an opportunity to address the council as each item is brought up for discussion. Do we have any citizen comments at this time?
Hello, my name is Jessica Betchart. I'm with the Recreation Committee. I just wanted to say hello, Honorable City Council and Interim City Manager Portillo. I am here tonight on behalf of the Parks and Recs and Park Recreation and Arts Commission. We have been trying to arrange a meeting with you since April, actually, to hold a workshop to discuss the fee increase for the Recreation Department rentals and programs. In the meeting, we can explain why we arrived to these increases and tell you what we have been doing, then answer any questions you may have so we can work together to increase fees in a practical and bearable way for our community. As you all know, the fee schedule was established in 2008 and fees have not been raised since. The commission has worked hard to figure out ways to subsidize our programs so we can keep the programs affordable to our community through fundraisers, sponsorships, and inventory cutbacks. We feel the prices we are proposing are fair and manageable. We have been told that the interim city manager is wanting to do a cost analysis / survey to make sure we are collecting enough with the rate increase we are proposing. We know that there are costs that cannot be recovered by the program or rental fees such as administrative salaries, parking lot lights at the facilities, janitorial services, etc., without driving the price of the programs or rentals out of the market. We are also concerned that this analysis could cost thousands of dollars, showing that prices need to be raised 50 to 100%, which we don't want to do. We know with certainty you would never agree to raise fees this much because it would make the programs unaffordable to our community. So council and interim city manager, we have been appointed by the council to make recommendations to you regarding recreation, policy, budget, programming, master planning, etc. Since this is our role, can we please agree to meet and discuss our fee increase proposal? Mayor, we know that you understand this situation and we're the first that has said we need to get this taken care of. Can we make it a priority to meet before the end of the year so that we can prepare the recreation budget for the 22-23 seasons so we can use any increases in our budget planning, please? That is all I have.
Thank you. I think most of you probably be speaking regarding that item. Is that correct? Yeah. So I could comment now or just wait and hear you guys out. But basically, just to keep it short, I think we have been in agreement that, those fees need to be looked at. I know we've been in support of that overall as a council. I know that we've had, different discussions and ideas, including that cost analysis that you mentioned. So yeah, we're for it. I mean, we do need to meet. I mean, my idea is to definitely have a joint meeting with everybody, so we could all sit down and have that discussion. So we're definitely in support of that, and yeah, it should happen before the end of the year.
Can we we will set this up within maybe the next 2 weeks so we can have that planned forward, because we are coming to the end of the year and we're going to
Yeah,
have to.
and in December, it's holiday season, so it's
Yeah.
gonna be hard. So yeah, definitely, we could definitely do it hopefully next couple weeks. Let's shoot for that.
Okay,
If everybody's in agreement.
thank you. Any other commissioners? We appreciate you guys listening to us, and thank you for taking time. We do have all the information. We've gone through and done surveys with, the people on the teams and the coaches and parents, and so we have a lot of great information to supply for you guys. And
Absolutely, and I thank you for everything you guys do. As when I first came to council, I called for the creation of the recreation or reestablishment of the commission. So I'm very proud of you guys. I'm very proud to have started at that when it first came. So I get it, and I know that we need to look at things throughout the years and take action. So I appreciate everything you guys do, all your work, and so thank you. And we're gonna get together and make this happen.
thank you for your time, council. Yes.
Jessica, will you be meeting this month? Are you moving your meeting forward?
Yes, we will be meeting the Thursday prior to Thanksgiving.
Mayor, is there a way we can just make that a joint meeting?
We can, if you guys are for it.
We would last time we tried, unfortunately, I believe you didn't have enough to meet, but we would love, yes, definitely. Yeah,
Yeah, there'll be actually a,
definitely, if you want to set that up with Jackie, you know how to get in contact with her, and she would definitely be able to add that to our agenda.
sounds good, yeah, let's do it.
Thank you, guys, appreciate it.
Any other citizen comments at this time?
Mike Torres. What I'd like to know is if any of the councilmen or the mayor or city planner over there notified the developers on B Street that they can come back and ask for permission to build their project. Did anybody notify them?
The project you're talking about on B Street, you said?
Well, the ones on Peach got their permit, or they're okay to build.
You're talking about the apartment complex?
Well, I don't know, I asked 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago to somebody notify them.
Which project are you speaking of? Which specific project?
Well, so are they gonna be able to come back and present their project?
Are you talking about the apartment complex?
Yeah, the ones on B, the
Oh,
complex.
yeah, no, we approved those, we approved that project.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they were denied the first time
Oh, you're talking about the ones on Lincoln, Main Street? Yeah, they came back, and then we approved that. They came back, yeah, and we did go ahead and approve it,
all right.
yeah.
Now, another thing is that I'm not against anybody on the council, but what's all these signs all around town about the bad leadership? You know, I go to the restaurants over here quite a bit, and I get a lot of bad slack about it. You know, they just flat ass tell me, hey, there's a bunch of crooks down there or what, Mike? You know, I don't know what to answer. I mean, I don't know anything about it. I mean, I got this at the tail end. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, well,
So, you know, if somebody can tell me what's going on, I mean, I'll meet you at the office or the cafe or the dark alley if you want, you know.
I'm
I mean-
sure, the only thing I could say is that we, in regards to myself, and I know the other council members, we respect the position, and we're trying the best we can to improve our community and do our best for everybody. In regards to corruption, there is no corruption. I mean, we're, like you said, I will meet with anybody at any time, and I'm sure everybody else here will meet with anybody at any time and have any discussion or answer any questions. And obviously we live here in town, and we grew up here in town, and we know a lot of people, and we're always here to improve the city and sit down with anybody at any time. So the signs, I don't know what's going on with that, but I could tell you that, we're here, and you've come to a lot of meetings, but we appreciate your participation. And you can see what we're trying to do is nothing but to help the community and leave a better place for our children, okay?
Yeah. Because, the Constitution, it lets us do a lot of things, but in a small town like this, it's bad for the city. So I don't know what's going to outcome is, but, it's your ball game. You'll have to do something about it.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Any other citizen comments?
I got a question for City Attorney or Vanessa about this subject. Whoever put these signs, do they have to get some kind of city permission or sign some? Because I remember when we ran for election, I had to actually go down to the city hall and file paperwork, get permission to put these signs up for campaigning. So is this a similar, Tom or Vanessa, any one of you guys?
There's a new case that came out regarding political speech, and actually, you didn't, in my opinion, you didn't have to do what you did during your election, but the rules are, what they are now. So.
Thank you, Tom. Okay, so no more, any other citizen comments on the phone or emails or letters?
I have a letter.
Okay.
The letter is from Janet Martin, and it states as follows. Mayor of Livingston City Council and City Council members, please include my letter in your next public comment section of your public meeting. I would like to speak on the issue of current recall efforts in the city of Livingston. Looking at the allegations directed towards the mayor and 3 council members, I find it interesting that the vague innuendo, broad-based allegations against the incumbents are exactly the same. This leads me to believe what is really going on is an old-fashioned political power grab. There have been no specific facts listed of any individuals named. To remove someone from the office, there needs to be a just cause for their removal, and I see none here. The signs being displayed in the city state that all 4 of these members are guilty of corruption, abuse of power, and incompetence without any facts whatsoever to back up this claim is suspicious. As I said earlier, this appears more likely to be a political power grab by one faction in the community that has tunnel vision for Livingston's future. One of the most important strengths Livingston has as a city is democracy, is that of diversity. What a good democracy needs are different voices from many sections of the city, not just one voice from all residents. It will cost the city thousands of dollars of taxpayers' funds to hold a special recall election. While this city, as most cities in the Central Valley, need to use the city resources for a greater good for the community, instead of wasting precious money on a recall election, why not wait for next year when the regular election is held? Remember, all these office holders in the recall were elected by the majority of the voting public in the last election. So I doubt that the majority of the people of Livingston are so upset with these 4 members that they want them voted out. It sounds more like sour grapes by a small minority who want to be in power, but did not have the votes to do so in the last election. Thank you for your time and efforts on behalf of the residents of Livingston.
Thank you, Monica. Any other letters, comments, emails, facts? No? Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Anna Villa, and I am from Livingston. As a team member, Mr. Moran should act more like part of the team and stop using social media to promote the destitution of his own fellow council member. In all honesty, that speaks volumes of the untrustworthy person he can be. When you talk bad about your own fellow member in repeated occasions, it says more about you than those who you are trying to throw under the bus. You may not always agree with their decisions or even with their actions, but to keep using social media to discredit them doesn't speak very well of the fellow members you are supposed to be. And that's it.
Thank you. Any other comments? Okay, we're going to go ahead and move on to announcements and reports. Vanessa, any city staff announcements and reports?
Yes, Mayor, our Recreation Department has items.
Thank you. Jackie?
I actually have quite a few things to make sure you guys are apprised as to what's going on with our department. First, we'll start out with the sad news, and that is our basketball season is going to have to be canceled, as the county requirement is that we have to test every basketball player with a COVID test every week. And my two people in my department, there's no way that we can manage to do that. So we're hoping to try to come up with some ideas, like maybe starting baseball earlier, and then maybe we can have an outdoor league, later. But it's really heartbreaking, and these poor little kids are really upset. And actually, we're upset because we love being out there with everybody. So, but it is what it is, and it's what we have to do.
Is there a chance that the requirements might change in regards to the county?
Well, you guys have kind of seen the news and see how things are going. I would like to be really positive and say, yes, next week. We even actually, when we started registering, we just took everybody's registration without money, so that way we could see how many people were interested. And our last registration was supposed to be this Saturday. And there is a lot of interest, but one of the requirements too is that they want the kids to wear masks during their practice and their games. And we know that this cuts down their oxygen intake, and if they have to wear a mask while they're playing, what do we do when kids start dropping because they can't breathe? So it's just really a sad situation. We are trying to come up with some other things for the kids to do, so hopefully we can keep them, doing sports. So I will keep you apprised. So the Court of Trees, we started promoting that today. If you guys would like to have a Christmas tree. Last year, we actually had over 50 trees, so hopefully with the Lions' help, we'll have more this year. I know that we're going to do a little competition between the departments here in the city to see who the winner's going to be, and we already know who some of the best are. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Trees are the same price as last year, $40, and we need you to sign up before the day before Thanksgiving at 5. There is registration forms online, so you can actually just register online and then call us with your card, or you can come down and do it, whatever's the most convenient. And then our Christmas parade is coming up. It'll be December 10th. We're also taking registration for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. We are keeping it through the neighborhoods because we had just, we were bombarded with how awesome it was, and it actually is a lot safer because people are so spread out. And then if you guys are going to be in it, if you could just let me know when you decide that. We do have this weekend something that's going to be a lot of fun. If you have roses in your yard and they're out of control and you'd like to learn how to prune them, we do have a gardener that's coming in this Saturday at 9 a.m. Bring your shears, and he's going to show us how to properly prune our rose bushes so that next spring we'll have a beautiful garden out there. And then lastly, I would like to ask permission if at our next meeting, I could do a slideshow with all the Centennial Committee has planned for our centennial year, just so that you guys have an idea as to what we're doing. UC Merced has really stepped in. I talked with a gal today who she's going to use grad students to help us with our mobile exhibit to the schools, as well as spruce up the museum. So it's just really encouraging the direction that we're going. And we're always looking for people to help out with the Historical Society so we can keep charging on with the next generation. So anyway, if that's okay, I can start preparing for that and have a slideshow and tell you what all we've been
Yeah,
working
let's do
on.
it. It'll be
Okay.
exciting to see, definitely. I mean, everybody in agreement?
Okay, if you don't have any questions, that's really all that I have.
Just a couple comments. When are you having the next Centennial Committee meeting?
We are still not sure. We are going to be, and I was going to tell you this and I got ahead of myself. On November the 13th, you're going to see some activity out here at the Courtyard Plaza. The UC Merced will be doing a documentary on Livingston. And so we have about 35 families that have been here from like day one, or, well, not the people, but, you know, their generations. And they're going to be talking about things that have happened like from the 50s forward, so we can at least get it logged. And actually, the Centennial Committee will be invited to come and help with that. We're also going to have a pie social, so we'll make it worth your while to come out.
Awesome, that's great. Just want to tell you guys good job for the trunk or treat event this past weekend. It was obviously well attended, and it was once again successful. So good job to everybody who participated, all the families that went out there and handed out candy. So
And the pet parade was pretty amazing too. I don't know how many of you got to see it, but it was crazy good. And that was just our little trial for the Centennial, so it's really going to be getting, for the Centennial, we already have people that are bringing out llamas, and I'm hoping a camel and a Z-donk. So, you know, it'll be not just puppies, but it'll be a lot of other stuff too, so.
thank you, Jackie. Any other questions or comments?
Actually, my only question was going to be if you could give us an update in general in regards to the street fair events that happen in October.
So our street fair, we didn't have a lot of vendors, but I'm sure that you guys are all aware that RMA is now requiring every vendor to have $1 million liability coverage. If you are a junior high kid who's making bracelets that would like to come out, you are not going to pay $165 a month for the month just to have the insurance. So we really need to try to figure something out, you know, whether it's a tier system or something, because if we want our downtown street fair to be successful, it has to be affordable for those that want to participate. So we did have a good attendance for the health fair, and we had a good attendance for the pet fair, but the other two were, I mean, people came down, and as far as I'm concerned, it did what we wanted, and that was for people to build community with one another. And we had a lot of people hanging out a long time and just visiting with one another, so that was positive.
Is there something similar that could be done in regards to how pop-ups are being done, or do you know?
Well, just so that you know, the pop-ups are being done illegally. They're not being permitted by the counties, and yeah, they're great, but we as a city, we have to follow the rules. So unfortunately, or fortunately, whichever way you want to look at it, you know, the pop-ups provide an opportunity, but if they ever get busted, the people that are leading it, it's not going to be nice. And that would be from the county level, not us.
Is that even in the city limits, or?
Anything in Merced County, they have to have health permits for any food items, you know, whether they have insurance or not. If they're on our streets, we would require them to have a certificate of insurance. But, you know, otherwise the liability is completely on the organizer.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jackie. Any other questions, guys? No? Okay. Any other department?
No other items to report.
Thank you, Vanessa. So we're going to go ahead and move on to city manager announcements and reports.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. I did have one item that I wanted to share. It is in regards to our CDBG grant for utility payment assistance program. And I wanted to share that we have seen a really great success rate within the last couple of weeks, and it is all due to our staff our frontline staff being able to conduct the outreach to the customers that have trouble with their outstanding bills. So just in last week, we've received about $31,000 in utility payment assistance through this grant. So that is very positive, and we will continue to reach out to those customers that are facing some difficulties from this pandemic.
Awesome, that's great. That's great news, and as always, anybody having difficulties paying utilities or need assistance, you can reach out to the city hall and get direction and get that assistance. There's still obviously some funds available. I don't know if we have a figure or approximate figure at this time.
There was $91,000 approved for the city for utility payment and rental assistance for customers. And there is about $200,000 in grant money for businesses.
So we'll encourage anybody that needs assistance to please reach out, take advantage of those funds that are available. Thank you.
Is that something they have to make appointment with Vanessa, or the girls up front could help them out?
No, our frontline staff can provide the application, and it is handled by a separate agency, which is Self-Help, and they will be able to guide the applicant through the steps that need to be done.
And I know discussions with you, and we are definitely trying to get Self-Help to be more, being able to outreach more and reach more people that need that assistance. I know, could you speak a little bit about what kind of efforts they're currently doing to reach that population?
Sure. They had planned a couple of in-house events that had to be canceled due to the county health direction. So they have stopped all of their in-person meetings at this moment. So majority of their outreach is being conducted through either their website or the city's website. If you go into our website, you can find a link for the CDBG program, whether you are a resident or a business owner that needs assistance or want to apply or want to find out assistance on the program. At the same time, they will be coming over to City Hall to provide some flyers and some information that can, our residents can come in and they can take information with them to reach out to the company, Self-Help.
Could we, I think we've done that in the past, but in a way we could put it in their mailer, like in the utility bill, like a flyer, one of those flyers they're going to be providing, mail it out to everybody. Maybe that'd be a good idea.
Okay.
Maybe some people don't know about it, and maybe a flyer in Spanish, English, and Punjabi, people maybe be able to reach out. Any questions for Vanessa?
Yes. Vanessa, is there an update regarding the landscaping company that was hired to support our public works landscaping in the city?
They have been moving along. I don't have my my public works superintendent here, but I could definitely have them come on our next meeting and update the council on the landscaping.
All right, thank you.
And I believe that they're already in their
Second month.
Second
month.
Okay. Any other questions, council, for Vanessa?
Can I just touch on that real quick? So maybe just because I received a couple of concerns in regards to, because it's obviously an outside company and maybe there is, maybe we could try and prevent or have a better communication in regards when they come in or whenever they're working on a particular landscaping area, just to see, because there was previously some landscaping that was there, but if them not knowing if it's part of the landscaping or if it's part of the outgrow, they just kind of cleaned everything up and they got rid of like flower beds and things that were there for decoration and kind of to make that area a little bit more attractive. And, you know, they just kind of cleaned everything up, and including the flower beds and stuff like that on certain areas. So maybe if, I don't know what can be done, maybe just having some kind of communication with whoever knows what needs to be done in in those areas that they're going to come into.
Okay.
I know that just in general, just having conversations, I think one of the ideas was to kind of, I don't want to say start from new, but there was a lot of, like, for example, flower beds, bushes, stuff like that, that needed basically start from the beginning and rehab and address the water use in some of those areas. So I know they're attacking some of those, but I mean, it'll be nice just to get an update, absolutely.
We'll take a look at it. I know most definitely when we went out for bid, majority of the areas needed major rehab. So if they cleaned it up, I'm going back to the landscaping unit. It's potentially the expert on landscaping, and they probably deemed that this vegetation was needed to be removed and cleaned up. Now it would be part of the city to replant those areas. So if you share with me what areas, we will work with Public Works to make sure that we have a revamp landscaping area.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move on to city council members' announcements and reports. Councilmember King.
Yeah, I don't really have nothing to report, but I just want to say I attended the trunk or treat with my kids, and Jackie did a great job. And I really had a great time bringing my kids out there. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Jose Moran.
Yes, on October the 12th, I attended the city and county dinner in Atwater. It was great to see a lot of people out there from representing different entities from throughout the county. And I also attended, a little bit later the following week, I also attended a meeting in regards to the current process or procedures to redistrict the county and how that could affect residents from all throughout the county, depending on the way that districts are realigned. And this is only done every 10 years after every census. So it is very important to have residents be involved and educated about the pros and cons on how districts are redrawn, because not only that depends on who gets to represent you, but how monies are get to spend in our communities all throughout the county. I also attended last Thursday, the 28th, which was the Recreation Commission as a liaison from the council. One of the main concerns was exactly their comment earlier in regards to having our joint meeting, which there was a struggle trying to have that happen, and hopefully we do make it happen. And other than that, great job to everyone in the rec department for having, those 4 different weeks, giving people in the community an opportunity to come out and hang out. And I did see exactly that, just people hanging out and, just spending time and just chit-chatting and having corn. That vendor, was very popular. And it was great to also see that the vaccine clinics, both of them were very successful. So they were very well attended. That was great to see. And this last weekend, I also attended and participated in the fundraiser here locally for an annual Fiesta Mexicana Kermés at Rancho Arroyo, which they do to fundraise money to support some of the sport programs at the local high school. Very successful, and it's great to see people out there and very cultural. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Councilmember Maria Soto.
I caught the tail end of the Board of Supervisors meeting where the supervisors made their city announcements. Our district supervisor didn't mention that we are going to have, and I will mention, that we will be having a Livingston Veterans Day Parade next Thursday. Step off is at 11. We will be here on this corner, on the other side of the Historical Museum. If there are veterans, you are welcome to ride in the parade. And if you want to participate as a group or individual in the parade, you can contact Dennis Wells. His email is denisue@gvni.com for a form to register for the Veterans Day Parade. Other Veterans Day parades around the area would be one in Gustine at 11 as well. The report also said that Merced will also have their parade at 1 p.m. It's going to be a reverse parade. There will also be another parade in Atwater, and they will be doing other events as well for veterans on November 11th. And I just want to add to that I'm a big supporter of our Livingston High School. Our Livingston High School did make Division 6 playoffs. They will host the game next Friday, December 12th, and I hope to see, and I know that sports bring community together, and I'm real happy to say that they are in the playoffs. December 12th, the game time is at 7, so if many of you, especially Livingston High School alumni, can come out and support the Wolfpack, that would be awesome. Our youth program is also coming to the end. 2 divisions went on to playoffs, which will be this Saturday in Oakdale. And it's a little bit away to travel, but hopefully you guys can give those students, if you know any, that are wearing those purple and gold jerseys, let them know that you're supporting them, as well as all of the other sports that we have in Livingston. Thank you.
Thank you. Garcia, I'm going to go first, and then you could do your thing. Yeah. So I'll do my announcements and reports, and we'll go back to Mayor Pro Tem Raul Garcia. For me, it's just nice to see that we're going to have the Veterans Parade back and the Christmas Parade back, and I'm expecting the council to participate in both. Definitely, we have one of our own members of being a veteran, so thank you for your service, Mr. Garcia. So it'd be nice to see you guys out there. We also, I know that the ACE Train Board will be meeting here soon and making a decision in regards to where the stop's going to be, either Livingston and Atwater. As you know, the staff recommends primarily a stop here in Livingston. Been, obviously advocating for that with the board members, and I want to give a big thanks to, I know, like, for example, some of the business owners and Mike Gallo, for example, reaching out and offering anything they could do to help out and advocate for that stop here in Livingston. So anybody that is able to reach out to the board or business owners, anybody, just feel free to reach out to myself or Vanessa and give you that contact information for the board members. I participated along with Vanessa we met with the county fire administration. Obviously we're trying to push or advocate for a second full-time firefighter here in our city, and we're hoping that there'll be a success here in the next couple months, hopefully. So we're definitely advocating for that and meeting and making those efforts to make it happen. Maria, like you said, big congratulations to LHA's football team for making playoffs, especially for your son. I know you must be very proud, Rockland Bautista, QB. So looking forward to watching the football game here the next. So, I encourage everybody to participate, go out there and support our local high school. I think it'll be great. Vanessa, I know that we talked about getting an update in regards to the general plan. I think I know, and we probably might have it next council meeting or in the near future. Yeah, so it'll be nice to get an update in regards to that. In regards to the rec cost, fee cost analysis, like I said, I'm very big advocate and supporter of the rec commission and recreation overall, being a volunteer coach for many years and establishing that rec commission. I think it's important for us to meet and hoping that we do it sooner than later. Also looking forward to a mid-year budget review. I know that we talked about this, and I think we have, excellent news coming in regards to the efforts we made as a whole here as a council and staff in regards to cost saving. We want to be good stewards of our fiscal situation, and I think we have excellent, awesome announcement at that time. So looking forward to sharing all of that with you guys. And I think that's it for me. Participate in a Measure V meetings in regards to MCAG and the county. That's ongoing discussions and good things coming out of there. Definitely going to be addressing the Hammett intersection. Hoping that AMPM kicks off here pretty soon or breaks ground here pretty soon. So there's a lot of exciting things that not always get highlighted, but we are working very hard in collaboration with staff. Another thing that I know I did mention, Vanessa, and we are working, just to let everybody know, we are working in regards to the signs on the streets, the yellow stripping, the stop stripping and signs. I know we've had numerous discussions regarding that, and we're trying to address that because I know that's a big need. And we want our city to look, nice and presentable and everybody be proud of living here in town. So the landscaping was one of those ideas we brought forward, and they've been working at that and rehabbing and, being responsible with the water use as well. So a lot of good things. I know there's some lights being installed at the sports complex as well, and that's a framework has already been installed or been worked at. So they'll allow additional playtime for kids out there or teams practicing. So I appreciate everything the council's doing and staff are doing. So thank you so much. We'll go back now to Mayor Pro Tem Garcia.
Good afternoon. Firsthand, my statement today is no shape or form related to my agency. Today I am your vice mayor up here speaking in my position as your elected official, for the record. And I forgot to ask this at the beginning, is there any other elected officials here today, or city treasurer or clerk? Is that a no? No? Okay. So for the record, they're not here today, so we'll get that on record. So obviously everyone knows what's going on in Livingston. It's sad to say, but it looks like there's a council member that can't get along with us for whatever political reasons. He's out there, he goes by people's houses while council members, residents, taking photos. I mean, I think everybody knows I have a new truck because that was on Facebook recently. And I mean, if I'm doing something wrong, I'm not above the law. You got a chief here in the city of Livingston. You got officers, you got dispatch, call them up, tell them to go to my house, write me a ticket if I need it. So I don't have any special privileges. I'm a citizen just like everyone else, and we should all be created equal. So we got that one. The other is this recall going on. Everybody asks when they're walking around, where's the evidence to everything that this group, this Livingston Recall Group is talking about, the mayor and your other 3 council members here? Tell them to show you the evidence. The evidence will speak in itself. There's an investigation with one council member that a citizen's brought up. I mean, it's on Facebook. He's not credible. He's going around knocking on doors. I mean, think about that. You know, if he's not credible, I mean, and he's out there behind this whole group, ask him the questions. So how about we ask that certain individual, I mean, how much is it costing the city of Livingston, your taxpayers, money, ours up here, we live here, how much is it costing us? We don't know. It's an unlimited amount right now. Why? Because we don't know how much it's going to cost in the end. How much has this cost us so far? Do we have a number, Vanessa or Tom?
I don't have a true-up number. I know that so far we have paid up to $35,000 on legal fees from July to now. Prior to that, we probably paid the same amount with our previous law firm.
So we could be right now at $60,000, $70,000, somewhere roughly.
That is correct. That is just legal services. We have requested an estimate from the county about conducting the special election, because that is a separate fee from the county. We know that other cities have mentioned that it's very costly, somewhere in between $75,000 to $100,000, if not more.
And that's just for the special election, correct? If it does go through all the way.
That is correct.
So,
That would be if all the required signatures are
Yeah.
collected.
so we sit back here and see these numbers, $70,000 that these group is out there constantly lying about myself or our other council members here, $70,000 where we could put that money into, the rec committee. We could, put that give it to a new officer, it's just nonsense. These people ain't thinking about you, the citizens. $1 is too much, So this is just the beginning. When they're out there walking, tell them how much is it gonna cost. It could cost $200,000. That's a lot of money. We can put that somewhere else. We could put events on in the city for our children, safety. There's other things we can do with that money. I would sign my own recall if that stuff was true. I'll sign it. Why not? But I'm up here telling you that none of that they're talking about me is true. I have reached out. I've said it plenty of times while I'm up here. Hey, call me and I'll meet up with you. If you guys don't feel safe, we'll do live Facebook. I don't have Facebook, but we'll live Facebook or YouTube or whatnot. I have nothing to hide. So feel free to reach out to me. My number is on the website. I don't know my own phone number for the city, but it's on the website. But like I said, I'm just up here looking out for the best interests of the city of Livingston, and I will continue to do that until my last day here, no matter if I do get recalled or the last day of our term. But so just think about the money that we're going to be spending here. Like I said, I will sign my own recall if all that was on that they're saying about me is true. So with that said, that'll be the end of mine. Thank you.
Thank you. Want to take a break? We're going to take a 5-minute recess. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. We're back to our regular council meeting. We're going to go ahead and move on to our consent agenda. Items on the consent calendar are considered routine, non-controversial, and will be enacted by one vote unless super actions is requested by the city manager or city council member. There are no separate discussions of these items unless members of the council or city manager request that specific items be removed. Mr. Councilmember Moran, I know you had questioned or asked about removing some items for further discussion.
I'm not sure if, I mean, we can remove them, but just have a couple of questions, and we can probably,
Yes, go ahead.
yeah, number 2 and number 14.
All right, let's start with number 2.
So I just want to clarify something, and I know that we had a long conversation about this item, item number 2, at the last meeting in regards to the doing this monthly. If I remember correctly, and I did ask if we needed it to do this every month, and the response was no. But then later now, I guess the feedback is that yes, we need to do this monthly. So, so that is one question that, I think I have the answer, but I just need that to be clarified.
Right.
And then 2, the second question on this item was the way the item was proposed and the way the item was approved, does that allow for anyone in the city, whether being the city manager or the council, to prohibit residents from attending in person?
Okay, so with item number 2, we're asking for clarification, and then, and that second question, does Tom, or?
Yeah, I know at the last meeting, talked about the 30 days. I was advised, my office, there was and I said, it not necessarily, and I said that because my office advised me that the Assembly Committee and the Senate committees had different views on things in the bill. But since then, it's clarified that yes, it absolutely has to be renewed every 30 days. Now, the other part of the question, I actually have my number 2 item here, but the idea is it's a trade-off. If, and of course, the rationale is, the dangers of COVID-19. And the rationale or the trade-off is if council members are either sick or don't feel safe, we want them to be able to participate, at their home or wherever, and not have to comply with the usual requirements of the Brown Act, which is you have to post it where you're at, and allow people to be there and comment. So that's the one side. The other side is that we allow the public to participate remotely as well.
The part of having the council members having the ability to stay home and call in, that is not a problem. That was not my question. But and then the other part was that I'm not referring to residents being able to call in or not, but I was referring to residents and being able to be present here.
Well, you could, if the danger is grave enough, you could say that you're not going to have the meetings open to the public.
So the way it was approved, it doesn't mean like automatically we can do this without bringing it up to council. Like previously, we had a discussion and
you're right. Yeah.
Council.
Yes, you're right. You'd have a discussion each month.
So the only
And
one.
nothing prohibits residents from coming to the meeting.
That'll be
obviously, at this point.
that'll be like a separate discussion or action, if we were to close the doors and be remote.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes. So and then also definitely when this item was presented, not all of the information necessary to be able to was presented in the package. So not having all like this is what we're basing our decision on. And then last time it was like, well, it's this, maybe this. So we were not really sure. I mean, but it was approved. But I would hate to be in that situation again to where we're not sure if it's you know, what we're approving if we don't have all the documentation and
Well, I don't know, what did you not have?
well, we didn't have, we were saying, well, maybe it's we don't have to come back
Well,
every 30
that's not
months.
having anything, that was an opinion of mine at the time that's since been clarified. So I don't understand.
Well, let's just move on.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, number 14.
In regards to the number 14, just a quick question. So we currently have fencing there, but it's, we're trying to replace it with iron fencing. With this new iron fencing, I mean, how would it prevent anyone from jumping in? I mean, I think the size of how the current fencing that they have there is going to be the same size, same height as this new fencing that we are looking to approve. Is that correct? So the height is the same. The only difference is instead of being chain link fencing, it's going to be iron fencing. Or could we have something different, like more cameras or more lighting or something different to prevent things from being stolen versus, or maybe we need something in addition to?
Definitely, Mayor, council members, this is an item, this is a recommendation from our city staff in the Public Works Department. They believe that the mesh fencing that we currently have, it is very attractive for vandalism and potential theft. We have had a couple of break-ins from breaking in the mesh fence, breaking the locks. So this is the first step for us to put in place and secure the courtyard for the vehicles that we have in there.
Additionally, that type of fencing is cost-effective because it lasts longer than just a regular fence.
And at the same time, it is something, the fence that they got approval or they got quotes for, it is something that it hides our equipment better, or rather than having the mesh fencing that you can see everything that it's being stored there. So that is one of the proposals from my Public Works Superintendent to the first, as one of the first steps to make this area a little bit less prone to vandalism.
All right,
I think the
thank you.
chief wanted to say something back there?
Yes. Thank you, Chief.
The current chain link fencing we have there, they cut right through it like butter with the right tools. And that's how they get in so quick, cut the Cadillac converters off, and they're out the door. With the new fence that's being proposed, I strongly recommend, because it's a lot stronger, harder to bend, and it takes a lot of the visibility away.
Right.
The other thing I would suggest also is we invest in good cameras and lighting out there to help prevent loss to our property.
I agree. I think the lighting especially, it's lacking.
Absolutely, and the fence itself, I mean, we could move forward, and our staff identified that was the first item that we needed to secure or replace as far as, making our area a little bit more secure. But at the same time, we are looking into security cameras. However, there are two different pieces of equipment. So, and given the fact that if the security cameras may be within the approval of administration, we will move forward and put those in place.
Excellent.
I got something.
Yes.
So I know the chief said about surveillance cameras. Maybe in the future, we can integrate that with dispatch or something, like have a screen in there where they see live feed, and if they see something strange or whatnot, they can send an officer right then and there, not wait, I mean, they see somebody cutting the fence, they see it right there in front of them. Maybe that's something we could probably look into also, if it's not too much funds.
We'll work with Chief.
Chief? Yeah.
We already have that in place with the middle school here, so that's an easy. Add a monitor, have access to their system, and you log in, and it would give us current and live access to video surveillance at all times.
Excellent idea.
Thank you.
Okay, and so if there's no further questions, we could approve or move forward on the full consent calendar. Any motions?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Garcia,
I'll second.
second by Councilmember Maria Soto. Can we get a roll call? Or,
Please cast your votes.
thank you.
Motion was approved by a vote of 4 and 1 abstain.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and move on to discussion and potential action items. One item, City Council appoint a regular member and second alternate member to the Planning Commission. Randy?
Mayor,
Oh,
if I
sorry.
may?
Yes.
Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
Tonight is Randy's last meeting with our city council for, before he enters retirement.
Randy,
Thank you, Randy.
Yes, thank you, Randy. Randy, we're expecting a speech before you depart.
I had planned on just making a note at the end, but yeah, thanks. It's been a pleasure to serve here at the City of Livingston, and I appreciated the opportunity. And hopefully, I was able to provide some helpful direction and work for the betterment of the city. What we have here is, as you might recall, back in, there's been a history with this, but back in January, we have 2 regular vacancies come up in the Planning Commission and 2 alternate member vacancies. And the 4 positions and staff advertised and per council direction, and we only received 3 applications for the 4 positions. In April, the council appointed Robert Wallace, who is an existing member, and Jason Roth, an existing alternate, as regular members. And Harpreet Baines was appointed as an alternate member. And then the council said, right at that time, we had 3 other applications from residents came in literally either that day of the appointment or a few days prior to. And so disclosed that to the council, and they said, well, maybe there is more people out there that are interested in serving on the Planning Commission. And so at the conclusion of that meeting, the council directed staff to bring the item back for discussion and possible direction to fill those vacancies. And it was continued various times, and then we re-advertised again, and so here we are, quite some time later. But we advertised aggressively, and we received a total of 4 applications for the 2 positions. 1 regular position and 1 alternate position. And so those applicants have submitted their information, their application form, and those are included in your packet. So we have 4 applications and 2 positions with which to fill. And I have, this is completely a council decision process. I'll be available for any questions or anything. But one of the vacancies has a normal termination at the end of this year. And so I would recommend that when you fill that vacancy, that's a vacancy for the regular members of the Planning Commission, not an alternate, but a regular member, that you consider appointing the individual for the balance of this term, but also for the next term. opportunity to serve, because there may not even be a planning commission meeting balance of this year. So that would be just a recommendation so that we're not right back in the same position we are now with the vacancy. So with that, ball's in your court to go through and make these 2 appointments from these 4 applicants. And as always, if you're not comfortable making the 2 appointments, you can make 1 and continue the item, or you can make 0 and continue the item. You have all options before you.
Thank you, Randy. This time, we'll bring it back to council for discussion or questions.
Mayor, if we may use the regular position, fill it with the remaining term in addition to a regular year, like Randy had.
Yeah, I think that makes sense, and we should definitely do that. Also, I want to acknowledge any applicants here today. Andres, you're one of the applicants, right? Okay. So we do have somebody here that applied for the position. If council wants to ask any questions, any other discussion or further questions for Randy or anybody?
Just a quick question, Randy, in regards to the commissioner that is currently, the commissioner position that is currently vacant, the one that is about to expire December 31st of this year, how long are those terms? 2 years? 3 years?
I believe they're 4-year terms.
4 years?
Yeah, they're 4 years.
So 4 years, right? Just to clarify. Okay. And then the alternate will be the same?
Yes.
Okay.
The alternate.
So it's 4 years?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Council, any questions? Take it back. I'll take it out to any public comment. Have any comment? Andres, you want to introduce yourself or say anything? Yeah, go for it. Yeah, sure. Over there. Sorry, bud. I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
Hi, good evening. My name is Andres Fuentes. I did apply for the alternate planning commission position. Submitted my application a couple of months ago. So I was informed that you guys might be making the decisions today, so just want to show up and present myself and see if you guys had any questions for me. I've been a resident here for pretty much all my life. Grew up, graduated here in Livingston, live here in Livingston. Have 2 little boys who, they're enrolled in schools here, and we hope that with some of the planning commissioning, some decisions that we make, it will benefit their future while they're here. So I don't know if you guys have any questions for me.
Council, any questions, comments? Thank you. And I do appreciate you being here in person.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Any other comments or questions? On the phone? Any emails received, fax, letters? No? Okay, so we'll bring it back for council for further discussion and any potential actions. Do you guys want to take them separately? So maybe, or together, or? I say separately.
Can I
So address, go ahead.
ask a question to Randy real quick?
Yes.
So when the applicants applied in their application, was there someone specifically that applied for the, like only for the alternate and then somebody else only for the regular?
The regular position?
Yes. And then,
Short answer, no.
And then the other question that I want to make, just clarify and make sure that we got this right. There's only 3 applicants now, right? Because initially there were 4, but 1 withdrew his application.
There initially was 5.
5, okay.
And 1 withdrew, so we have 4. Every individual the applicant that's in the packet before you are the group that you can select from.
Okay,
The one that withdrew, we withdrew that from the packet.
okay, thank you.
Okay, so I want to take it separately. I'm going to make a motion for the alternate. I'll make a motion to appoint Andres Fuentes for the alternate commissioner. I do respect that you're here. I know, I appreciate that. I know you've been here for many years, and I know that you will, represent the planning commission as best you can. So I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
So we have a second by Mayor Pro Tem Garcia. Can we get a roll call or voting?
Please cast your votes. Motion approved by a vote of 5-0.
Thank you, and congratulations. You want to give a speech real quick? So when does he report for boot camp? When's the next planning commission meeting?
His first activity will be to work with Monica to be sworn in, and then we'll notify him when the next planning commission is available and scheduled. He'll get the packets information, and my successor has already been selected by the city and will likely contact him to introduce himself and to provide answers to questions and general information. So, yeah, I welcome Mr. Fuentes to the commission.
Excellent, congratulations. All right, so we have a full, any motions for,
I'd like to make
Yes.
a motion to have Renee White Mendoza as the regular appointee to the Planning Commission.
Renee Wait Mendoza? Okay, so we have a motion by Councilmember Maria Soto. Do we have a second?
Yes, I'll second that.
Second by Councilmember King. Could we get a roll call?
Hold on. Please cast your votes. Motion was approved by a vote of 4 and 1 abstain.
Congratulations to Renee. So if we could reach out to her and give her the same message in regards to the process. So congratulations to both. I know that both will do what's the best interest of the community as a whole. So look forward to working with you guys. Thank you. We're going to go ahead and move on to council direction on any future agenda items. And regards to, I know we mentioned just an update in regards to the general plan. And then I know and this is ongoing, just, we have ongoing discussions with our city manager in regards to items on the agenda. And I know that's one, and another one will be the mid-year budget review. This time, no other, in regards to myself, no other specific items. Council, do you guys have anything else?
Yes, I have. I have so many residents coming up asking about our city council and mayor term limits. I'm not sure if we have those in place or if we could discuss more about it next meeting.
I think that'd be something good to explore, definitely, maybe having that discussion. So term limits for elected officials. Any other items?
Yeah, I got something. So for me, under announcements and reports, I would want to see if the council would agree, just before the city council member announcements and report, to add the city treasurer and the city clerk to the list.
So we could definitely have a discussion about that. And then or we could explore with Tom, see if we were just able to put them on there or whatever. Sounds good. Okay, so if there's no other items, we're going to go ahead and adjourn our meeting at 8:25 PM.
Closed session.
Oh, we're going to go into our closed session, resume that now. Thank you, everybody.